Liverpool stepped into the Carabao Cup final with the momentum of Premier League leaders, but left the pitch in utter disappointment after crumbling against Newcastle. From strong contenders for a treble, the Reds suddenly lost everything in the span of just 5 fateful days. What has happened to the team that once sent shivers through Europe? More importantly, what lessons has Arne Slot, the man inheriting Klopp's legacy, taken from this painful defeat to salvage the dream of lifting silverware? Keep your eyes on the screen because the answers lie ahead. A soulless Liverpool against Newcastle. Before the final, Liverpool were considered the favourites against Newcastle due to their dominant Premier League form, topping the table with 70 points from 29 matches. However, at Wembley, they displayed a completely different side to the usual commanding presence. The Reds started passively, sluggishly, and without creativity, while Newcastle played with burning determination and meticulous preparation. On X at L.F.C. wrote, "Liverpool looked like a team out of battery against Newcastle. No spirit, no ideas, fully deserved to lose." The absence of Trent Alexander-Arnold and Connor Bradley forced Slot to deploy Jarell Quansah at right back, a reluctant but unavoidable choice. However, Quansah was completely out of his depth, failing to link up with Mohamed Salah on the right flank while also struggling defensively against the pace of Harvey Barnes and Valentino Livramento. According to SofaScore, Quansah won only 2 out of 8 duels and failed to complete a single long pass, an alarming statistic for a right-back facing Newcastle's high-pressing game. The first half clearly showcased Newcastle's dominance. While Liverpool managed just 1 off-target shot from Diogo Jota, their opponents registered 9 attempts, with 3 on target and a goal from Dan Burn in the 45th plus 1 minute. The defeat to PSG earlier had seemingly drained both the energy and spirit of the Reds. Players moved sluggishly, lost possession frequently, and even struggled to get back up after minor challenges. Clear signs of a team exhausted both physically and mentally. Newcastle, a side that knew how to exploit weaknesses. Under Eddie Howe, Newcastle demonstrated superior preparation. They quickly recognized Liverpool's fatigue after a grueling 120-minute battle with PSG and capitalized on it by applying relentless high pressing from the start. The midfield trio of Joelinton, Bruno Guimaraes, and Sandro Tonali dominated the center of the park with strength, technique, and intensity. According to Opta, Newcastle controlled 56% possession in the first half, an unusual statistic for any side facing Liverpool this season. Newcastle's greatest strength lay in aerial duels, an area where Liverpool struggled. The opening goal came from a corner in the 45th plus 1 minute, with the towering 2.01 meters. Dan Burn heading into the far corner unchallenged, exposing the flaws in Liverpool's zonal marking. Slot's defensive setup appeared far too passive, with no player marking Burn. A critical tactical oversight in the 52nd minute, a similar scenario unfolded. Livramento crossed, Jacob Murphy headed past Andy Robertson, and Alexander Isak finished from close range to make it 2-0. Both goals stemmed from aerial threats, a vulnerability Liverpool had shown all season, but which Slot failed to address. On X, a Tactico analyzed, "Slot knew Newcastle was strong in the air but did nothing to prevent it. Too naive for a cup final." Statistics from The Athletic revealed Liverpool had conceded 8 goals from set pieces this season, more than Arsenal, 5, and Man City, 4. This issue was nothing new, but its recurrence in such a crucial match suggested Slot had yet to find a solution. a toothless attack, and questionable decisions. Liverpool's attack, usually a formidable weapon, fell eerily silent against Newcastle. The front three of Jota, Luis Diaz, and Salah mustered just 3 shots throughout the match, none of which were on target. Salah looked isolated, without support from the right flank. Diaz lacked unpredictability, while Jota failed to capitalize on close-range opportunities. Signs of an attack devoid of ideas. In the second half, Slot was forced to push his team forward after falling behind. He introduced Darwin Núñez and Curtis Jones, but their impact was minimal. His most controversial decision was withdrawing Ibrahima Konate, the most solid defender on the night, to shift Ryan Gravenberch into central defense while bringing on Cody Gakpo and Federico Chiesa. This move aimed to increase attacking pressure but disrupted the team's balance. Gravenberch, unfamiliar with the centre-back role, further destabilized the defense. Chiesa, who scored a consolation goal in the 90-plus 4th minute to make it 1-2, was a rare bright spot. However, Slot's reluctance to trust him earlier proved costly. On X at L.F.C, Dept questioned, "Chiesa can change the game, so why does Slot keep him on the bench? Núñez and Jones don't deserve to be prioritized over him." Statistics showed that Chiesa had only played 320 minutes this season, but had already contributed 3 goals and 2 assists. A superior return compared to Núñez's 5 goals in 1,200 minutes. Slot's stubbornness in personnel choices was one of the reasons why Liverpool failed to turn the game around. A costly lesson for Slot. The defeat to Newcastle served as a wake-up call for Arne Slot, a talented coach but still inexperienced at the highest level. This is his first season at Liverpool, and previously he only managed mid-table clubs like AZ Alkmaar and Feyenoord. The Carabao Cup final exposed 3 crucial lessons he must learn as Liverpool enter the decisive stage of the season. Firstly, the squad depth is alarmingly thin, with fewer than 20 fully fit players available, a consequence of a failed 2024 summer transfer window, which saw only Federico Chiesa arrive. The absence of Alexander-Arnold, Bradley, and other key players forced Slot into playing footballers out of position, leading to disaster. The PSG defeat had drained the team's stamina, yet Slot had no viable rotation options. As both the media and fans pointed out, Slot has done well with what he has, but Liverpool need at least 3 new signings to compete across 4 competitions. Secondly, Slot's high-pressing attacking style, inherited from Jurgen Klopp, works when Liverpool take the lead or face weaker opponents. However, when trailing, as seen against Newcastle, they look toothless and lack a plan B. His inability to deal with counter-attacking and aerially dominant teams remains a significant concern. But according to Sky Sports, Liverpool have lost 4 out of 6 matches this season when conceding first. An alarming contrast to Klopp's 2019-20 side, who lost just 1 out of 10 in similar situations. Slot must diversify his tactics, particularly in set-piece scenarios where Liverpool are weak in both defense and attack. The failure to mark Dan Burn or effectively utilize Virgil van Dijk in attacking corners was indicative of poor preparation. Lastly, Slot's substitutions against Newcastle highlighted his struggles in reading the game. Removing Konate and deploying Gravenberch in defense was baffling, while persisting with Núñez and Jones over Chiesa was a mistake. Slot must learn to trust players who can change the game rather than sticking with ineffective choices. A similar error was evident against PSG, where Núñez missed a crucial penalty, yet was still preferred over Chiesa. The future. a defining period for Slot. Despite this setback, Slot's future at Liverpool remains promising. The Newcastle loss is not the end. He has led Liverpool to the top of the Premier League with 70 points, an impressive feat for a new manager. However, this is a warning that he cannot solely rely on Klopp's legacy. Next season, with Alexander-Arnold, Van Dijk, and Salah possibly departing as their contracts run down, Slot will face an even greater challenge. Rivals like Arsenal and Manchester City will certainly study his tactics and exploit the weaknesses exposed. L.F.C. Voice summarized it best. Slot needs time, but he must learn fast. Liverpool cannot live off Klopp's memories forever. The lesson from Newcastle is harsh, but necessary for Slot's growth. If he improves squad management, tactical flexibility, and makes better selection choices, Liverpool can rise again. If not, the 2024-25 season could mark the start of a deeper crisis. Liverpool's defeat to Newcastle was a cold reality check for their ambitions, and for Slot, it exposed a lack of preparation, a one-dimensional approach, and poor squad management. But it is also a valuable lesson. With 9 Premier League games remaining and their title hopes still intact, Slot has time to fix his mistakes. March 16th at Wembley was not the end. It was the beginning of a stronger Slot. If he can rise from this failure,